Rupan, what's the situation? Can we start? You are muted. Sally.
1 second, sir. Let me check with Sally. Sally, can we start?
Yeah, yeah, we can start then. I think now guys,
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, a very warm welcome to the inaugural session of SPS Insights, our monthly Expert Talk series. I am Navi Prasad, and I have the honor of being your anchor for these. We are gathered here today to gain valuable insights into the fascinating world of IEEE SPS scholarship program. This program has provided countless opportunities for students and researchers in the field of signal processing. And today, we have the privilege of hearing from a true expert in this domain. Before we proceed, let's take a moment to acknowledge and express our gratitude to our esteemed guests who have graced us with their presence. I invite Dr. M.V. Rajesh, advisor of IEEE SPS Kerala chapter and chair of Kochi subsection for the welcome address.
Thank you, Navya, and all other ologies of IEEE Signal Processing Society chapter in Kerala. It's really wonderful moment that we got Sir Charles from the other end of the world, from Brazil. But fortunately, Brazil looks like a very good neighbor to all of us, because Kerala especially is a fan of football.
okay.
To everybody is known to known to us. So in that connection, and there are a lot of fans and local level football clubs for Brazil here. Some cities temporarily known as Brazil during the football season here.
Great.
And coming back to the Signal Processing Society and IEEE in Kerala, I am happy and proud to share the important news that we are one of the largest signal processing society operational units in the world. We got actually 25 plus signal processing student chapters in 25 different colleges in the state, engineering colleges. And in the membership count also, we are, I think, at least number 1 or 2 worldwide in the signal processing society. And it is therefore a certified chapter as well. In the last ICAS, we got a couple of awards, and our student team has won the $5,000 prize for the 5-minute video contest in the ICAS. So we were all there to celebrate that. Of course, the Signal Processing Society is one of the society which is offering maximum benefit to its members, especially students. But at the same time, because of the complexity of the subject, as the undergraduate students are saying here, I don't know what is your story there. Signal processing has many are joining just because of the name, but now that barrier has been overcome, and the Signal Processing Society has become very important. And any activity in the current world of IoT and data is basically, knowingly or unknowingly, is signal processing or statistical signal processing. That's the relevance of our society. And this program, very good step ahead. And it is really a chance, very good chance for the students to step into Signal Processing Society and try to apply for this prestigious scholarship. And when we think from India, this amount will cover more than their tuition fees in an engineering college scenario here. Maybe same elsewhere also. So that's very, very, very important opportunity. That we do very seriously with 25 student branch chapters, with posters and some other items. We were trying to teach them about the first ever scholarship program. Then one of my student volunteers has come with this idea. Why can't we try to invite somebody who is actually managing this in the Signal Processing Society and listen from the true stakeholders who is, conceiving this idea and trying to grow this idea and trying to implement it in the first time in the Signal Processing Society. And we from Kerala section is very thankful that with the first email, Dr. Charles agreed to communicate with the students on the scholarship program. Actually, he is chairing this scholarship program in Signal Processing Society. Thank you very much for that great gesture. And on behalf of the entire IEEE community in Kerala, one of the largest sections in the world and one of the largest society chapters, Signal Processing Society chapters, let us all wholeheartedly welcome you on board to the Kerala session event.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh. So it is a real honor to me to be here to speak to you. I was the regional director of regions 7 and 9, and at those days, so we were, at least from my side, I was quite amazed by the amount of activities that region 10, where Kerala is as well. So you provide a lot of different activities to engage students. So the numbers, I mean, speaking about activities, trying to make the students to work together, to be involved on the all activities of formation, let's say, putting information to the community as a whole, it was very impressive. So it's really important to us from Signal Processing Society as a whole as well, to provide as much information as possible to you, because we believe that Region 10, Kerala, and the other chapters from that region are going to be, let's say, will respond a lot, quite well to our call for proposals on that sense. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you and congratulations for organizing such an event, and thank you very much for inviting me to speak today. So I have a couple of slides to show you, maybe to guide a bit my presentation, and then we can go for a question and answer session. Is that okay for you?
Yes, sir. I think I request the organizing team to have the co-host.
Yeah, no, I think I'm able to share. Let me check here. Can you see?
And sir, get it also sanction with the.
Okay.
Hmm.
You can see, right?
Visible now. Very good.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Perfect. Okay, so thank you very much. It's just a set of 5 or 6 slides, I guess, just to give an overview and provide a little more details about some of the steps of this initiative. The scholarship program is being launched this year, the celebration of the 75 years old of the Signal Processing Society. And when we thought about it, so let me, oops. Okay, when we thought about it, the idea was, okay, we have a lot of students, we have a lot of people trying to be working on the field, but given some constraints, financial one particularly, the students are not following that path or signal processing. So the idea was to, the initiative is being established in order to, let's say, bring that excitement with the area of signal processing, but also trying to build more interest on it. So I think that we that are working on the field recognize that many of the advances of technology nowadays are being I mean, they are available because of some of the signal processing advances as well. So we could talk about IoT, or biomedical signal processing, machine learning, statistical signal processing. So Rajesh has mentioned some of those topics. And also we see that those are on the core of the Signal Processing Society. So the idea of the program is to provide and support, financially speaking, some projects from the students in order to bring the attention of the industry and also from the academia to those projects and ideas that the students can be, let's say, interested on developing, okay? So these are, the program is designed and tailored for the students that are following or trying to follow a signal processing education career, okay? So the idea is to disburse a smaller amount I know, and here in Brazil it's similar. So the amount is not alone going to be enough to fulfill all the student needs, but they are going probably to help a lot with the tuitions and even some money for the projects itself. I mean, to buy some equipment or something like that. Okay. So the idea is to have a larger group of recipient students. We are aiming to have at least 35 projects around that, okay, around the world. So it's there is no, let's say, a priori selection of how many candidates are going to be selected for each region. So it's going to be really an evaluation based on the quality of the project, the needs for the project, the conditions that the students are involved with. So it's going to be really an evaluation, which is going to take into consideration all those aspects. So how much the money the student needs to develop those projects, and how that area of the project is going to be important for the development and advance of the signal processing areas. Okay, so it's not only to support the potential students, the present signal processing students, but also trying to bring with us some industry and possible employers to be closer in that task of attracting the students and making, okay, take a look. We have a bunch of very smart guys that are developing very interesting ideas, and you can join us and help us to identify the most, let's say, the most suitable ones for some areas that the industry is going to be interested on, okay? Also, so we have also, in order to design the project, we needed to put some, not constraints, but some conditions, okay, some criteria in order that who can apply to. So at first, it must be an IEEE student or graduate student member. So not only the graduate students, but also the undergraduate students can apply for that. And even if the student is not an IEEE member, he is going to receive a complimentary membership for the first year. And then for the second and third year, they will need to be a member at that point. So we remind you that it's worth remind you that SPS has a policy of $1 membership. So it was a real success when it was launched. So it is still valid. And so we attracted a lot of students. So the field is attracting students, and this scholarship is a way to continue that attraction, okay? So again, it must be an IEEE member and also an IEEE Signal Processing Society member. Again, for the first year is not required. It will receive a complimentary membership, and it will be required for being or continuing a membership of both IEEE and IEEE SPS for the second and third year if they are going to reapply, okay? So as we are have designed actually the scholarship for the SPS, for signal processing career, so the student must express some willingness to follow that field of interest. And the fields of interest of signal processing, they are quite broad and large. So we have statistical signal, statistical signal processing, machine learning. Nowadays, it's a very artificial intelligence. Those are the buzzwords of the moment. Biomedical, circuitry, in the sense of that we are dealing also with a circuit signal processing, okay? Also, the student must be pursuing an electrical engineering or information communication technology, computer science, bachelor's degree or graduate degree. Also, in that ensemble of degrees that can be followed, there is a large variation of the names that each school uses for those programs. It can be applied math, it can be applied physics, or something related to it. So if the object of study is related to signal processing, even if the name is not used in electrical engineering, electronic engineering, communication engineering, or more traditional names, you can apply as well, okay? So, but since the scholarship is designed for the students, they need to be enrolled full-time as in a university, okay? And that university needs to be offering, to offer, let's say, regular courses, undergraduate or graduate levels for the students, and the students need to be enrolled officially for that matter, okay? Finally, at the time of the application, I'm going to talk about the deadlines and time frame of the application process. The student needs to provide some proof of completion of a minimum of 3 undergraduate or graduate courses. It can be combined, for example. You can have 2 undergraduate courses and 1 at graduate levels. And those courses need to cover typical signal processing subjects. Okay, this is going to be evaluated by the board, and it's going to be a matter also to identify if the student is really working on signal processing related topics. And finally, in order to have some way to have an evaluation to select the best students, the best targeted ones. So the student must have a minimum of a B grade or equivalent. For example, in Brazil, we do not use A, B, C, D grading. It's a scale of 0 to 10. So we are going to convert in some sense. Or their international equivalent at the current educational institution, okay? So the student needs to be as one of the good students of the university in order to apply. Also, still talking about the application process, the application is based on an online nomination platform. There is requirement of applicant information, so name of the school information, address of the school, some places to put the academic path that the student is following, major, minor, if there is such a difference in the curriculum of the university. So some say to put information about the signal processing courses he or she is following or have followed during the, let's say, the years. Some interests, the interests here are related to what areas of signal processing he or she is interested on working with or trying to develop a project on, okay? Some activities, for example, here, the students who are involved on chapters from signal processing, they have a large heads up here, or large, let's say, advantage also, because they have a lot of activities already involved with. So seminars, joint organization of events, workshops, lectures, participation on lectures, organized or not by IEEE signal processing, for example. And finally, the candidates, the applicants, can provide some reference letters. So they can provide up to 2 letters of recommendation. The nominator must provide some information about the willingness of the students that it's following, trying to have the scholarship, the grant. So what path the student is interested in following, the relevance of that topic, the importance of the project within, for example, the university, the group, or something like that, okay? Okay, here we are talking about the amount of money that is going to be let's say, possibly disbursed for those who are going to be selected. So it's up to a grant total of $7,000. Okay, but this $7,000 is not going to be put in a single way. It's going to be split through the years. So for year one, so the student can be funded up to 3 years. So the year one, it's up to $2,000. So year two is another amount of $2,000, and the final year, the year three, is up to $3,000. So it's summing up $7,000. Those who are going to be selected, they are also, besides the money, it's going to be, they are going to receive a certificate of recognition. They are going to be, let's say, put on display on the IEEE SPS channels, YouTube, and all the media, Instagram and Facebook, the network, the newsletter as well, the magazine. So there are a bunch of diffusion about what the students are developing, what projects are being developed. And this is also a strategy in order to try to get some, to attract attention from possible employers, okay? Some of the companies are going to be one of our targets, to show to them, then say, hey, take a look. We have really smart guys developing very interesting projects, and you can take profit from them in the sense that you can hire them to develop the projects that you, as a company or as academia, as a university, a college, you are interested in, okay? The recipients of the scholarship, they can request, for example, and have support, not only mentorship, but also some help from the SPS leaders in order to find, let's say, different paths to fulfill the requirements of a project, to discuss the technical aspects of a project. So it's really an opportunity to enlarge your network and of SPS members and researchers that you have access to, okay? And finally, all first-year recipients will receive complimentary IEEE and IEEE SPS student membership. That is really interesting. So both IEEE and, of course, SPS, they are trying to attract those who are not yet members. It's not a requirement. It's not going to be, let's say, a condition of selection, but we are not going to drop good projects, good ideas, because the applicant is not a member yet of both IEEE and SPS society, okay, and SPS and Signal Processing Society. So if the student is going to be a recipient for the year one, and if he or she is not a member, so it's going to have a complimentary membership. But for the other years, he or she needs to continue as a member. And so I think that's a very good policy in order to attract and put the students as a way to interact more with our whole community. Okay, so finally, the number of scholarships to be awarded is going to be based on the amount of funding. So this funding available, it's going to come from the IEEE Foundation and also from the Young Professionals Fund. So of course, we are targeting to have at least 35 recipients for the first year. So how much is going to be for the next years, how much money we are going to be able to have for the next years. So it is still to be defined, but we are very confident that we are going to be able to improve the amount of we have so far in order to increase the number of recipients, okay? Okay, so finally, some timeline of the activities. So maybe some of you are already aware of that. So on March 1st, it was launched and opened the application period. So that period is going to end on June 30th. So we have, let's say, 2 weeks from now. And just after June 30th, we are going to have to start the period of evaluation from the committee. And the committee needs to notify all applicants of those results by September 30th. So we have, let's say, roughly speaking, 2 or 3 months to evaluate all the applications. And by the end of October, the scholarship recipients will be announced for the whole community of SPS. So it's going to be published again on the social media, the magazines, by email. So every and all of those channels that we can use in order to announce and to maybe make it public of the decisions. Okay. So I guess, okay, that's all from my end, at least as an explanation. Of course, we can now, let me stop the sharing. We can start some discussions and questions regarding your questions about any of those points, and to be more to provide more details, more information. And by the way, I'm going to send that presentation for the Kerala chapter, so the organization can share with all the students, the interested one, and get some of those points which are more detailed on the presentation. Okay.
Thank you, Charles. I request the participants to interact with him. Many have started the process but not completed. I think that's what I understand on the scholarship program, because maybe they may have some doubts. Please directly ask anything what you feel about the process.
Yeah, sure. You can use the chat if you prefer to.
Or turn on your mic and directly ask to the professor. No issues.
Yeah.
And even the help group, the organizing team, the YP, they can also ask if you found something difficult over there.
Let me try to help. If you are trying to make an application, trying to collect the information, and of course, as much information as you can provide. For example, we put that, okay, the student needs to provide that or have followed at least 3 courses on the area of signal processing. If you have more, of course, it's beneficial for you. So put more information if you have. If you have participated on different activities by funded, organized, or not by IEEE SPS. Okay, I went to a conference in a different region, in a different university, that helped me to understand a little bit better about what signal processing is, what topics different groups are studying, researching, and so on. So this is also an information that is going to help the committee to better assess how the students can be, let's say, have more potential to be successful or not. So this is going to be, it's a competition based. So we are going to have, hopefully, more applicants than the funding allow it. So it's also, the more information you provide, the higher your chances are to be one of the selected ones. Okay.
Professor, what's our plan? Is it a single stage selection by the committee, or there'll be multiple phases of something like an interview? Is there anything in the plan?
That's a very good idea. So we have, so first of all, the committee has, we are 13 members. So, and we have members from all regions. So due to the number of, and the amount of members on region 10, for example, we have, I think, three members from that region. So we are not sure yet if we are going to have multiple phases. One of the members have suggested to maybe we can make a, let's say, a screening and have a smaller number of candidates and make some interviews. So, but it's probably going to be difficult. I mean, it's not discarded, that idea, but it's difficult because, for example, even if a subset of the committee is going to make an interview for one region, let's say 10, and the other subset is going to interview candidates from region 1 or 8 or 10 or 9, for example. So we are not sure if this is going to be in the same basis of comparison. So, of course, every selection has some subjective stage, but we are trying to minimize it and have a full comparison. But this is all, I mean, the final decision is going to be dependent on the number of applications. If we have 200, is something different that we have 50, for example. It's really going to be dependent on the number of applications. But probably we are going to be different phases, but not sure if we are going to have an interview phase. Okay, so that's one question pending to be decided, but it's going to be dependent on the number of applicants that we are going to see. So since we still have 2 weeks from now for the ending of the period of application, so we do not sure yet.
Okay, fine, clear. Thank you. Participants?
Yeah. Hi, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Salih. I'm currently the membership development chair of SPS Kerala chapter. I have a
Okay.
question regarding the scholarship application. Some of the students
Okay.
asked already regarding the their cost per credit system. We have actually a different system, which is a semester-based fee system. So
Mhm.
how we can put that fee structure into this credit per hour system?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very different. I mean, the way each university, it's based on the region. So, for example, here in Brazil, it's more like you in India. So we are divided in semesters. So we have different, in Europe, they have more like for each 3 months or something like this. So that kind of information is going to be perceived by the number of credits, the number of hours that you have followed. So this is going to be taken into consideration also. For example, we have followed, just an example, okay? So here, our courses are usually around 60 hours per semester. So this is something, but we can face some conditions in different regions, different countries, that we have courses of only 15 hours or something like that. So we are going to try to, let's say, normalize, to put in a more technical language, but that information, if you can provide more information regarding the number of hours, credit, or something similar, it's very beneficial. It's going to make it more easy for the committee to evaluate that. But we do not have a constraint regarding there is a minimum number of hours or something. I would say it's not a concern for the moment.
And also, there is one more doubt regarding if the students are attending any extracurricular event or some workshops or something like that, apart from the course. So if they are attending that by a paid course, so can they apply for the same scholarship on that?
Yes, they can. This is also very different from region to region, university, country by country. So they have different. For example, in Europe, there are countries that they do not have courses for the PhD school. So the student goes directly to the research part. So we are not constraining that. The student needs to prove, let's say, provide information that he or she is following some formation on signal processing. Courses is one part, but it can be different. It can be participation on workshops, seminars, lectures, and aspects that are not directly related to a minimum number of hours or something. So if the student has followed or has participated in different activities, as I mentioned, one of the fields is related to that. Okay, I have followed those different activities, seminars, workshops, organization, whatever, and even more specific points, like I have published a paper on a conference or even a journal or something. So this is also going to be considered as a way to evaluate if the formation of the student is going to be working or is working on the area of signal processing or the big area of signal processing, okay? So if you have all, let's say, okay, the perfect, not the perfect, but some theoretical candidate, he or she has followed a number of courses already, has organized some activities, has followed some activities, attended some different technical activities on the field, and also has published some papers. So everything is going to be considered in order to have, let's say, a clear view of the potential of that project and that candidate, okay, as well.
I think I would like to add, and it may be a question as well. Some of our students here in India are undergoing internships during break periods between semester or so. Obviously, some of them are signal processing related works. I think such certifications, if they have, can also be an added advantage, I think. Is it?
It definitely is going to be something really interesting, because typically those internships are providing more, not only a more direct way to be exposed to signal processing, and at some point, at some cases, they are really doing something hands-on. So they are trying to construct or to working really toward a very specific problem, which is really the case. So we are trying to boost that interest of the students. So internships is also is also one of those relevant information that the applicant should provide, that he or she has followed during the years, the previous years.
Yeah, it's a minor level industry exposure as well for them.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and sir, also adding one more thing, mainly in our state, in our area, students are spending some more amount in their project works and their final year projects and all. So can they claim the project fund also from the scholarship?
You can, I mean, since I'm understanding that the project is part of your formation as engineering school or computer science school or something.
Yeah.
So you can. The requirement is that those projects need to be on the areas of signal processing, but you can apply for those as well, if they are part of your formation or education on signal processing.
Yeah, they got minor and major projects. So
yeah, so that's completely fine, and that's exactly what we are trying to find. Who are those students interested on the topics, already developing something, or trying to develop something and need the funding to do it, or to make it faster, better, or something like that.
And the assessment for year-wise will be independent, right? Because somebody in the higher semesters have definitely more credential points.
Yeah, it's going to be independent because, for example, we cannot say, we may have, well, I should recall that we are in the first year of that scholarship. So we have a lot of information that is being predicted right now. So we are not seeing any outcome yet. So we believe that we may have some candidates or some applicants that they need the funding for the only 1 year. And maybe we are going to receive the students that, okay, I have a longer idea that can be developed by a longer period of time. So they may apply for different aspects. So we are going to tackle in a different way. As we are starting, we are going to
Yeah, I
select only
think
for
when
year.
we evaluate students across all the years, because it's a 4-year course, the undergraduate course in engineering. If the
Yes.
student second year, everybody is applying together. Okay, I request you to look into the complexities of that. This is
Yeah.
the level of
Yeah.
points that one could acquire.
Yeah, but I
Definitely, it will be
understand.
different because
Yeah,
okay,
so but it's
that's
going
it.
to be different because it's going to be affect, for example, of course, I'm assuming that we are going for the second year, we are going to see, okay, if the students from year one is reapplying for a second year of funding. So if there is an outcome of the initial project, if there is any, let's say product, by product, it can be a report, it can be a public conference publication or something like that. So if there is some results that are really interesting, so the outcome is not only, I mean, some deliverable as a paper or a report. It can be only the results saying, okay, we are studying something interesting. And then we are having very good results showing that this idea has potential to be more developed or continue the investigation on it.
Sunny, any other queries came in? Otherwise, I think it's not the end of the, I mean, everything. We will continue the interactions if something serious arises afterwards also, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And of
Because
course,
for SPS also, it's a first time experiment for all of us also.
yes, I like to say that we are learning together. So
Correct.
there is no template for that yet. So we are going to see, for example, questions like what's the typical number of submissions and applications for that? We do not have it. So it's going to be probably, if it's a success in the first year, we hope we are going to increase in the next year, but it's more prediction and hoping than knowledge yet. So, we really think that some regions, region 10 is one, region 9 as well, Brazil and Latin America, part of region 8, which is specifically on Africa. So funding for the students is quite hard to find. And we hope that this opportunity can bring some opportunity for those students who are interested on following that career or a path, major, minor, on signal processing, and have the means to do so. So that's really something that we are striving and putting a lot of effort to do so, to make it work and to make it the best possible with the conditions. And trying, as I said, we are really looking forward to have some not information, but some help from the industry part. If some companies can join us and fund, and maybe they not only can provide money, but can provide some topics of their interests. So that would be quite nice. So we are not able to do it until this moment because it's an initial program. They need to see something. But maybe, and hopefully we are going to see it in the year 2, and we are going to have a very more, let's say, focused program on the specific needs of the society, the industry, and even academic. Maybe some university is going to provide some topics of their interest in order to develop a program, a course in a specific area.
Anyone from the audience have any questions? I think all are clear.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have not all, but we have on the application process. So the SPS staff has followed very quickly some of those questions. We usually discuss a lot every day we have replied some comments, questions, doubts about the submission process. So, but feel free to send us messages and questions to be as clear as possible for you, the process and the information you need to provide to have a higher probability of success on the application. So we really look forward to have good applications and to select the maximum number of students to be recipients of that scholarship in order to improve and be more involved with. So the area is striving, and I mean, we see potential for it. So please consider as a potential opportunity for you. And let us know if you have any question, doubt on any part of the process of application, submission, so on and so forth.
So I guess that's all the questions for today. Dr. Charles, your expertise and willingness to share your knowledge have made a significant impact on our participants today. We sincerely appreciate your dedication in providing valuable information and help. Thank you. So before we conclude today's events, we would like to capture this wonderful moment with a group photo. I invite all the participants to turn on your cameras and join us for a cute photo session. Everyone, please turn on your cameras.
This also, please turn on your camera for a second.
Thank you, everyone. So today, thank you everyone for your enthusiastic participation. Now I would like to invite Ms. Neema Ziad, the ECC of IEEE SPS Kerala chapter, to give the thank you speech.
So I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Charles for accepting our invitation to be the speaker of today's session. Your expertise as the chair of scholars committee leads to the perfect knowledge to shed the light on this session. And thank you for sharing your knowledge by taking time with us, and your contribution this really is very appreciated. And I'm confident to a talk of and motivated me as a scholar. Thank you for your feelings addressed without in person space, and your presence and knowledge have made a significant impact. And we are grateful for the opportunity to learn from you. On the behalf of IEEE SPS chapter, we extend my heartfelt gratitude to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, and
Yes,
rest at your disposal.
Thank you, sir.
For joining. Stay tuned for the future sessions of Express Insights, where we will continue to bring our thoughts and insights to discuss on the topics on this field. Thank you for being the part of the community and safety. Thank you all.
Thank you, Charles. We'll keep in touch further.
Okay, we keep in touch. Just let me know if you need any information. I'll provide the slide, the set of slides, so you can forward to the members of Kerala chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you once again.
Bye.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good night. Good day.
Good day. Yeah. Still before lunch.
For you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.